And as we expected that will be more than so without further ado, Divisional Police Commander Eastern, the Assistant Divisional Commander, the Principal of Lilin Memorial School, Provincial Administrators, maybe from Rewa, the Lebanese Siri and Lau, the distinguished invited guests, youth delegates to the 2018 Central and Eastern Youth Conference, ladies and gentlemen. My sincere thanks go to the Lilin Memorial School for hosting the Central Eastern Division Youth Conference. And before I commence, I would like to again say thank you to the boys in Singapore for bringing home that HSBC series for the first time. The first one in Hamilton, the second one in Vancouver, the third one in Hong Kong, and the fourth one from Singapore. So let's give a hand to the I celebrate this event as firstly as a Minister for Sports, and secondly, they are the youth of our nation. Most of the time when they were losing, I receive calls from the Fiji Time, the Fiji Sun, FBC, the Fiji TV, inquiring their losses. But when they win, when they start winning in New Zealand, until now, there is no reporter who wants to hear from me. Because they sacrifice too much. Just like youths of Fiji today, they sacrifice their family for those who are married. And I always tell the media that we have to bear with them. Because they have families. Some of them are single, they have father and mother. And they have sacrificed from the coup. So, representative of youth of Fiji are those boys from in our national team. They're representing us, and we are a very bad spectator. When we lose, the whole nation loses. I told them in the Commonwealth Games, when you lose, the whole nation loses. When you win, the celebration of winning, the whole nation celebrates. So, as we officially open the Central Eastern Youth Conference, I would sincerely like to welcome our youth participants and stakeholders to this forum. The conference will provide all of us with direction to address the needs of our youth. This fact that we have the Commissioner, the DPC, the Provincial Administrator, and Rokotu is here to indicates how seriously we as a government take the youth. You are leaders of tomorrow, but we prepare you today. I always use two words when I enter a settlement or a village, when I talk with the elders, and I said, majority of our elders today, we use the youth of your village or settlement. And very little that we prepare them. So that is why we have this conference, to prepare you for your future. And I hope you will take whatever it comes. We have 5 training centers, and the programs that the staff or your youth officers preparing for the next few days will enable you to become successful in life, to be prepared for tomorrow. And as majority of us here are ex-youth, so it is a past generation that is passed on. So, ladies and gentlemen, today's generation of young people in the largest in the world as ever known. Once in every 3 people today is under the age of 30. And around 90% of young people live in developing countries, mainly in Asia and Africa. Young people now and in the future will play a big role in our world adapt to these challenges. With youth come energy, with youth come innovation, and that means optimism. If we create a supportive environment and opportunities such as this lays the ground for major positive contribution of our youth and for demographic dividend for nation and our world. Our generation are the first which we could actually eradicate extreme poverty, and the last able to be able to prevent catastrophic climate changes. Yet, too often, young people around the world are prevented from fulfilling their potential as a change agent and the social entrepreneur we so desperately needed. Ladies and gentlemen, our current young generation faces numerous challenges, and at many times youth lack the much needed support from relevant stakeholders. Once I told the elders that you use the youth. They've been used to being used. Dulang mantamake do mitara na batun lo kim duna durgo. O sunang oni lobina kang gora pasangka sabana yaya baru ba bina kanakakan. O kim duna durgo na do may tuki mandana yang gonong do may. So majority of the time we use the youth, and lest we forget that we prepare them for their future. So this is one of the conference that you are having for the next few days is to prepare you, giving you another chance. The challenges of creating jobs and opportunities for the large global youth population entering the labor market is one of the major challenges our world faces. But I would like to tell you a story. In 2015, I went to Nabosa, the Dolo of Nabosa. I went as far as Nremba, and I met the youth leaders in that area, in the district of Nremba. Those farmers who had land, that worked their land, they have a youth club led by a woman, by a girl who was a youth leader. And that's the first time in 2015 I met. In 2000 and that was 2014. In 2015, Fiji was invited back to the Commonwealth, to be part of the Commonwealth. And our first meeting was in Apia. I was invited as a youth and sports minister. And we got, after 2 days of workshop, I was asked by the Fiji community who lives in Apia that the student of Alafu campus, the USP campus, wants to meet me, and they have some grievances to be addressed, to be taken to the Minister of Education. So I went, myself and all the staff that went to Apia. And while we were there, I said, okay, we firstly introduce each other after the traditional simsim. I'll introduce myself first. So I introduced myself, and the rest of the staff did. And after that, they start standing up to introduce themselves. To the shock of my life, when I saw this girl from Nremba introducing herself, the leader of the Nremba youth that they farm their land up in the Dolo of Nabosa. She told me after that she has been engaging herself to every mobile training that happens around the area, around the district. So that is one of the part of the program that we take the training down to the district level, to the village, to the settlement. We call it mobile training. So she was confident enough to make that bridging course so that she passes, and the rest she's making a master. I think she has finished by now. So while you are here for the next few days, prepare yourself. We're giving you another chance to become from informal education back into the formal education stream. Samatata, eh? So that is an example of that lady, of that girl. I think she must have attended FNU, and this time was not paid by, I mean, the fees was not paid, but we gave them another chance. We gave her another chance. So she was a student at Alafua. So that's this was an example of the next few days. If you hold this properly, majority of you are Form 7, majority of you are ex-FNU. Don't look down at yourself. That's why we are here, to give you the second chance. So this is why I hold Talno sessions regularly with young people. When I visited youth clubs in villages and settlements, the furthest that I went was in Tumbarua, Tikino Neimalu, to Ono, Onelau youths. Anyone from Ono here? Ongea? I sat down with them. So, to be practical, we have to come down to you. We have to come down to you and hear from you, listen to your view, what you want, and we come and change our program according to what. Because you understand your environment, you understand your resources, you understand your settlement in your village, rather than us telling you what to do. So we custom made the training, and we give you what according to what you will. So our national youth policy, which is currently under review, aims to provide an enabling environment where youth development is mainstream into various focal areas of national development. Further, the ministry is ensuring that we engage young people during the revision process, and this will be announced soon. With the current brand trend and impact of social media, as leaders and youth practitioners, we need to shift our paradigm. As society, as we need to use social media and responsibly. And also we have sports development, and I was chief guest at sport outreach in Ra, the province of Ra, on Friday. And I see young people who are referee now, because those are the type of training that we do according to the awareness, and according to, we make them become a referee, become a coach, level 3 coach, level 1 coach, level 1 referee, and level 2 level 3 if you want to. If you challenge to become a level 3 coach, you can be, unless you pass level 1 and level 2. So during sports development, we see that sports is being a career now. Career, I mean, in 2015 and 2016, we have information from the Reserve Bank of Fiji that 100 million was sent by our sportswomen and sportsmen playing all over the world now. So that is why we have sports development, to develop the talents that we have. I just want to conclude that Ben Rain was the second coach for Fiji. No, the name coach was Mark Freddy. Kona coach in America. During interview, he passed. So he want 6 months pay to be upfront. 6 months upfront. No, the FRU didn't have that money that time. So they called Ben Ren, who was the second candidate. As soon as he left, he heard that he is winning to become a coach. He left. He leaves England and come over. He said, 6 years I've been coaching one Fijian in my team as a coach of English team. What about if I coach 13 of them, 13 of the Fijians? So he came straight away, and he didn't receive any pay for 4 months. So he became a coach, and he see that to become a winner, a Fijian, so it's okay to become a winner, he has to change his attitude. So he changed the attitude of those talented boys. And he see that to become a champion, Fiji 13 to become champion, they have to change their eating style, or to add sports science. So they have to change their eating style, have to change their food. So that goal in Rio was brought in without any carbohydrates. And the first value that he told to become a member of my team, you have to have that Fijian flair. So Fijians cannot play like an English rugby player. Fijians cannot play like a South African player. Fijians cannot play like a Kiwi player. So this is part of his speech during the sports award we have in 2015. And he said, 11 months before the Rio Olympic, this was 11 months before the Rio Olympic, that when he brings in the goal in the next 11 months, if only the boys will follow what he wants, the values that. So the rest is history. He brought in the gold medal, and that was his value that he brought in to the Fijian talent. So you stand up in the mirror, what is it on the next few days? They bring in gold. So what about you? You go back now and you think of that. Most of the time, majority of the time, we look down at ourselves. Majority of the time, we look down at our youth club. Right now, today, we have 4 rural millionaires. The youth clubs are millionaire too. They will become millionaire in a few years' time. So if they can have that, if they become a millionaire, you can become a millionaire too. So to conclude, ladies and gentlemen, having said that, the ministry takes pride in developing young people. Well, as I've alluded before, that we will prepare you, we will make you become successful in life. We provide an avenue for many young Fijians to achieve sporting excellence, while others improve their health. With those words, I have much pleasure in declaring the Eastern and Central Youth Conference open. Pinang Valeu, Danebat, Shukran, and thank you very much.